Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another day, another episode of The Daily Grind. I'm your host, 30NSG. And on today's show, we're going to be talking about Jeff Bezos. Said the quiet part out loud, hopes that you'll give up your PC to rent one from the cloud. We're also going to talk about Battlefield 6. While Arc Raiders Cruise's Battlefield 6 player count has plummeted on Steam charts, but why? Here's the diehard fan of a FPS thinks. We're also going to talk about Epic Game Store has grown massively, but it also trained users to never buy anything. So this and many other stories on today's show. If you guys like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. What's going on, chat? What's going on, Travis? What's going on, Eclipse? Turn, Jason, Sarge, Aaron, good morning. Who else is here? Mr. Z, good morning. Roic, good morning. Nate, good morning. Jesse Mack, good morning. How's everyone doing? We got lots of stuff. Hightail has come out. We have a story about Hightail as well. Hightail expects 1 million players at early access for launch. We might as well talk about that. There's actually two stories going on for Hightail. Let's do the two, right? So one, we have Hightail expects 1 million players at early access launch. Now, obviously, it's not going to be on Steam, so you're not going to be able to look at the numbers like we always do and go, oh, is this game popular? Is this game popular? We can only take the word from the people that are actually telling you what is happening. So the staff, the CEO says Hightail expects 1 million players at early access launch. If you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. You can also, if you guys, even though I bring up chat on stream and talk to you guys one-to-one, if you guys want to hear say something out loud, you can use the TTS. The link is in the post comment up above chat. All right, so the founder of Hypixel Studios has stated that they expect more than 1 million players during the early access launch. For those unaware, after being shut down by Riot Games, Hightail has acquired by Hypixel Studios and now scheduled to release in early access tomorrow, which is today, January 13th, 2026. Ahead of its launch, we already knew some details such as price and 16 minutes of gameplay, along with plans to add proximity chat and potential multiplayer portals. Hypixel founder asked players to download the launcher at login beforehand due to the expected influx of over 1 million players. As revealed in a new post, formerly Twitter, the founder, Hypixel Studios, has asked players to download the launch of day prior to the login to help reduce the launch of day stress, as they expect over 1 million players at early access release day for Hightail. If you're wondering about the launcher, the developer have confirmed that they skipped Steam to avoid negative reviews during the early access stages. It's interesting that they said that. You know what I mean? Because it's like one of the biggest platforms out there, but they're like, they don't want to get review bombed because of the situation that happened, and it's in early access. Whatever. Interest readers can also learn how to download the launcher through Insider Gaming. Okay, for those unaware, Hightail is a title that blends sandbox creativity and RPG action, where players can also explore a procedurally generated world full of dungeons, secrets, and variety of creatures, then shapen block by block. As the game launches in early access, players should also expect bugs and other changes. Well, that's what early access means. We're usually upset when games are broke, buggy, and unfinished when you pay full $70 price or $100 for deluxe edition and stuff. This is a $20 standard edition game in early access. So include exploration, responsive combat, robust building, along with creator first tools, creating unique content, mini games, running community servers. So the other Hightail one is that Minecraft competitor, this is a thing I was talking about yesterday, and for a couple months now, like, how is Hightail going to separate itself from Minecraft, right? Shows off playable Doom inside of game engine. Should Mojang Studios be concerned, or is this just a harmless alternative? So Doom running inside of Hightail is a strange but impressive showcase that highlights just how quickly the community experiment with the game ahead of release. Okay, Hightail is set to release today on January 13th, and it's already sold enough copies to cover 2 years of development. So, there you go. Congratulations. This is a reason. Now, obviously, this is early access. But when companies make their money and they can continue supporting the game for the next 2 years, think about this. This is an independent game. This is a small $20 game that's coming out. Now, imagine when you pre-order a game for a AAA studio that's been working on a game for 5-6 years, and they recoup all of their money before the game even launches. And then when the game launches, it's still broke, buggy, and unfinished, but it's in gold status, right? That's the difference between early access and gold, okay? So Hytale modders are already arriving in droves, despite the game not being publicly released yet. The top 5 Hytale mod videos are already appearing online. Creators are getting their hands on the tools, start pushing what the engine can do. And like so many strange places before, the fridges and pregnancy tests of PDF files, Doom now runs inside of Hytale as well. Hytale's first big modding flex is Doom running inside the game. So let's watch this. Let's see what's... It's a 2-minute video. So it literally is Doom within the world on a wall. Graphics are just as good. Doom running in anything. It's impressive. It's impressive. It's just funny, right? So it says Modder on YouTube has been showing off several Hytale mods that has been managed to get Doom running inside the game before release to the public, but genuinely impressive technical feat. Hytale is shaping up to a big explosive launch. It also could be enough to push Minecraft to pick up the pace and deliver updates faster. Now that's a good thing to look at, right? So Minecraft is basically, I mean, it has competitors, obviously. There's other games out there. But is Hytale going to be that Marvel rivals to Overwatch? Is it that, Path of Exile to Diablo? Is Hytale going to make Minecraft pick up the pace and deliver updates faster rather than smaller releases tend to arrive once or twice a year? Potentially, right? Because the modding community... they've been waiting for this game for about 6 years, okay? A lot of people are excited about Hytale, and what you could do in Hytale, what they showed 6 years ago, people were excited about it, and now here we are in the landscape of video games 6 years later. Maybe Hytale lands at just the right time, but we'll see, okay? That's not to say that Minecraft is in trouble. It's a multi-platform behemoth, and Hytale is launching on PC only, but it's also clearly following Roblox and Minecraft model become a long-term service game that focuses on community-driven content. So it says it's still seeing working inside a Hytale before the game has even been released is impressive showcase and gives me real confidence that the community is going to do some incredible things with it. Hytale is a built-in support for mods and tools like Curse Forge, also lowers the barrier for creators to experiment if the ecosystem takes off. It could give players reasons to stick around long after launch, which is exactly what to help Minecraft stay relevant for more than a decade. So let me know what you guys think, right? Do you think that Hytale, right, asking about where is Hytale going to find its place inside of this comparison, right? Like you look at what Pal World and Pokemon was like, hey, they're copying us. Hypixel used to make mods for Minecraft, but now they're making their own standalone game of Hytale, which when you look at it, you're like, hey, it's Minecraft. So how are they going to differentiate themselves from the biggest, one of the biggest games on the planet Earth, right? It'll be very interesting to see what happens if Hytale comes out and just explodes, or if it just kind of fades away like Boundless did, just fades away like so many other games have come out that try to compete with Minecraft type of game. These are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some of our other videos. Let me know what you guys think in the chat, in the live chat, in the comment section down below. What do you think about Hytale? Is it going to make it? Is it not going to make it? Let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So what do you think, chat? Do you think that Hytale has a possibility, right? Has a possibility of making it? What's going on, Bat? Yeah, Doom runs on anything. If it runs on a pregnancy stick, it's going to run in Hytale, right? How does Hytale separate itself from Minecraft? It's going to be very hard, right? If I just show you this, right? If I go to YouTube and just bring up a Hytale video, right? Hightail gameplay or whatever. If I do this,
We're not doing all that.
okay. If I do this and it didn't tell you it was hightail, hold on, I got to get it where. Why is the... No, I don't want chat. Okay. If I do this... You would think that this is this is Minecraft, and this is just a mod in Minecraft, right? There'd be no way of distincting telling that this isn't Minecraft, okay? And go, oh, what is that? Well, this looks a little different. It doesn't seem like Minecraft. Is this a mod on Minecraft? Like, you look at this, and that's what this is, okay? But this is Hightail, right? Now, obviously, you can look at the menu systems and stuff like that. Again, this could be done in Minecraft. Minecraft has many, many mods that you can put into the game, okay? My son plays a whole bunch of different mods that he downloads, and it's completely different every time I play with him, right? So what's going to distinct this from that? You know what I mean? Now it comes down to... I mean, the graphics look a bit different from Minecraft, but yeah. No, but what I'm saying, Altern, how do you know this is not a mod in Minecraft? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, obviously the gameplay is going to be the thing that sells this game. But when you break it down that you can build anything, you could do the mods for anything, the big separation here is that it looks exactly identical. Okay? So, like, when someone first looks at this and goes, oh, you should play this. So what is this? It looks like Minecraft. Right? That is the problem of how to sell Hightail. Right? When you look at it and go, hey, it just looks like another Minecraft. Right? I'm excited about Hightail. We're going to be playing it later today. Okay? I'm just looking at how does this game separate itself from Minecraft when it looks like. Now, obviously, the art style and stuff, again, looks different. But if I told you this was Minecraft... you'd be like, oh, cool, what mod is it? You know? I don't know. I hope it works out for them. And it seems like they made enough money where they can support the game now for 2 more years. So good for them. All right, so that is Hightail. Next, we're going to talk about... Brain says, yeah, I think the whole being able to make what you want will make it different. Look, I played Boundless. Do you guys remember what Boundless was? Let me bring up Boundless. You guys remember Boundless? Probably not. Okay. I remember Boundless. I put hundreds of hours into this game. Okay. Right? Boundless. No, that's not it. Right? Boundless was this game that was supposed to compete with Minecraft, right? Very different, looks different, still like voxel-based type of stuff, okay? And you could build basically anything that you wanted, but they put microtransactions galore in this game, right? And they changed it over the time, but let me see if he builds anything. This is episode 1, so let me actually back out of this one and go to a different one. Right? And there was portals and different things that you could go inside of this game. Right? And it was cool. This is before Astrobot, way before Astrobot, right? You would go through portals and you would enter instantaneously different things. The combat was good. Okay, it wasn't great, but it was good. Right? This game was awesome. I love this game. But then I played it, obviously, in early access. And then when it fully launched, it launched with microtransactions. It launched with a bunch of stuff that you were paying for things. But the building, right? The building with this was awesome because you could take the blocks and break them down from one block to half block to quarter block to corner block to angle block. And you could see how you could build a lot more different things inside of this world. Right? And it was really cool. Right? The things that you could build. We built a really cool, you guys actually, back in the day, chat threw a picture at me and said, make this inside the game. So I made this giant hand inside the game, and the developers loved it, and they put it inside their like promotional stuff and whatnot. Like, I truly loved Boundless. I thought it was great. I was like, this could be the next Minecraft, and yet not so much, right? But I played this for hundreds of hours. It was great. Community was great. Gameplay was great. There was like different events that you could go to. There was like boss battles that you could go get into people's worlds and help them with and stuff. There's like raids, not raids, but like big giant battles and stuff you would go. It was great. But that's no longer here, right? So it's like, hope Hytale can make it. Yeah, Ratchet and Clank with the one with the portals, the instant portals, that when you walk through, everyone's like, oh my God, what awesome technology. You can't do that unless it's a PlayStation 5. I played this game back in like 2018, 2019. It's like, okay. People are very impressed with things. Let me see if they have. Let's see if they have it. No. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure. All right. All right, next one. Why didn't Boundless make it? Greed. Yeah, greed. Altern says, I mean, it was a great way to promote the PlayStation 5, not going to lie. No, sure, I understand that, but it's like, I love that people that just don't know anything, Altern, think it's like groundbreaking technology, even though that technology has already been out there for years ahead of time. They're like, oh my God, Insomniac it's a genius now. They could do stuff like that. It's like, I believe Boundless was on the PlayStation 5 as well, or PlayStation as well, right? I believe it was. Yeah, Boundless was on PlayStation. Refers to voxel-based universal spanning sandbox MMO game released on PlayStation 4. Right? The PlayStation 4 had the where you could go through portals and you were into a different thing. But yet, you know, people are like, oh my God, the technology is amazing. All right. Next story we're going to talk about. Jeff Bezos, the Lex Luthor of our generation, or I should say of our timeline, the Lex Luthor of our timeline. Jeff Bezos said the quiet part out loud. Hopes that you'll give up your PC to rent one from the cloud. If you guys like what I do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. So Jeff Bezos says the quiet part out loud and hopes that you'll give up your PC to rent one of them from the cloud. Okay, Amazon's Jeff Bezos once revealed how he's thinking a local PC hardware antiquated, ready to replace by cloud options will DRAM prices make it come true. Remember, guys, I know I'm just a small little channel with less than 3,000 subscribers, okay? But I've been saying for years and years that these companies are all working into cahoots with each other. They all make the industry go round and round. Remember I say that Amazon wants to be part of this, but, you know, they try with Luna. They try with different things. They try with MMOs. But they're like, yeah, you know what? You guys make the games. We'll have the servers, right? And this goes on and on and on, right? They decide what's going to happen in the video game space or what happens in the electronic space or what happens in the television space or what happens in the gas space, right? All of these corporations in different avenues all manipulate or try to show us what is the thing that's going to happen, okay? So it says, I was recently reminded that something that Amazon chairman, co-founder Jeff Bezos said in talking a few years ago, and given in directions artificial intelligence is taking, it seems increasingly relevant today. Microsoft has made no secret of its plans to create a AI-first Windows, with tensions between users and shareholders essentially reaching a fever pitch over the last year or so. Microsoft, nicknamed Microslop now, is the AI era, which has also been leveraging OpenAI-powered chatbot Copilot, a variety of half-baked integrations across the various products. There's a Copilot button in Outlook now, and now that we can read your emails, but there are Copilot buttons also in Microsoft Paint for some pointless reason, and even Notepad, which is also supposed to be the lightweight alternative to Word. Now, also inexplicitly, the Copilot text generation integration list goes on. Over the past few weeks, though, we've been trying very hard in good faith to understand Microsoft's consumer strategy, and here's the consumer-grade Copilot apps and features simply aren't good by any objective measure. In years past, Microsoft would have slapped a beta tag on this type of thing and explained the performance delta. Yet here, Microsoft is actively marketing Copilot, and worse, many of the prompts and features in the showcase in Copilot marketing don't actually work as advertised. Call me shocked. Okay. Could there be a ulterior motive here? Well, perhaps Jeff Bezos touched on at least one possible explanation. Well, let's see if he says it himself, right? Let's
help us with this. You just said you're very involved with it right now. What is it that you're doing at Amazon?
AI. Yeah. So I mean, there are a few things, but small thing. But it's 90.
Here's the thing about AI, right? I think Elon Musk said this, right? Because I'm not saying this. I am quoting Elon, not verbatim, but Elon said if he warned people about AI and said that if you're doing AI, we're at this precipice, right? That we can't go back to singularity of the point. And then he thought about it and said, well, if everyone else is going to do it and I'm not, then I might as well do it as well, right? And that's the mentality of everybody, right? If everyone's doing AI, well, then I have to do AI as well. And that's what these companies are doing. So they're all going towards AI. And if they all go towards AI, guess what? You have no choice but to use AI, even if you don't want to use it.
5% AI.
And where do you think...
It's just so, there are a few things, but small thing, but it's 95% AI.
And where do you think...
It's just so, because we are literally working on 1,000 applications internally. So AI, you have to remember, modern AI is a horizontal enabling layer. It can be used to improve everything. It will be in everything. This is most like electricity. I went to a brewery in Luxembourg many years ago now. In fact, this trip was one of the little tiny catalysts for the founding of AWS. And the brewery was 300 years old. This company making beer for 300 years. A lot of the oldest companies in the world are breweries, by the way. I don't know why this is. And they were very proud of their history, and they had a museum. And in that museum was an electric power generator, 100 years old. And because when they wanted to improve the efficiency of their brewery with electricity, there was no power grid. So they had to build their own power station. So they made their own electricity. And at that time, that's what everybody did. If a hotel wanted electricity, they had their own electric generator. And I looked at this and I thought, this is what computation is like today. Everybody has their own data center. And that's not going to last. It makes no sense. You're going to buy compute off the grid. That's AWS. We were doing it internally at Amazon for ourselves, and the APIs were created. That's a very interesting story in its own right. But this is, these kind of horizontal layers like electricity and compute and now artificial intelligence.
Which needs electricity, by the way.
They go everywhere. I guarantee you there is not a single application that you can think of that is not going to be made better by AI.
And where do you think Amazon is in this? We've been talking about large language models all day. We talked to Sam, we talked to Sundar. Clearly, AWS has a big opportunity, but on the language model piece, it doesn't have its own. Does it matter?
You've been so busy, Andrew, that you did not see
I did yesterday.
Our announcements yesterday.
I did see the announcement.
About Nova.
Yes.
Well, that is a large language model, and it is our own.
And do you believe that that model is competitive with these other models?
Why would the CEO of the company tell you it's not competitive? He's got investors and stuff. Of course it's competitive.
It is absolutely competitive. So it is, it benchmarks extraordinarily well. It's a world-class foundation model. It's a frontier model. And
remember, this man builds rockets that look like a penis.
And it's very, very price performant.
Do you think that all these things we were talking about it earlier become commoditized, though, the models themselves?
I don't think they'll be exactly commoditized, but I think models will end up being specialists at certain things. They'll be better at slightly different. Some will have lower latency. Some will be, better at calling APIs. There will turn out to be a bunch of flavors. Just like you might not consult, if you're phoning a friend and consulting somebody.
Oh my God, I can't listen to him anymore. Let's just go back to the article, shall we? Where is the article? Oh, this is the article. Okay, Bezos himself says the piece that humans tend to overestimate risk and underestimate opportunity. And while Bezos and undoubtedly misfired on various lofty predictions in the past, his foresight with regards to these things, online retail and cloud compute, absolutely cannot be denied. Bezos is one of the most successful tech entrepreneurs in the history, after all, and the ability to predict the leverage of trends, and he's also a big part of that. Okay, he says, so what predictions did Bezos make back then? Seems particularly right now. Bezos thinks that local PC hardware is antiquated. Okay, and this doesn't seem very, you're like, it's just Jeff Bezos, right? But Jeff Bezos, because he's the billionaire, because he owns Amazon, one of the largest companies on planet Earth, okay, when he decides and Microsoft decides and NVIDIA decides, okay, I just named 3 companies that are the 3 out of the top 5 companies on planet Earth decide that cloud computing is the way it's going to go. Guess what? That's the way it's going to go. Look at what NVIDIA is doing right now to the industry. It's one company that makes these things. Look how they're manipulating the prices. Look how they're manipulating the stuff. Okay. So it says, and also the future revolves around cloud computing scenarios where you rent your computer from companies like Amazon Web Servers and Microsoft Azure to people. Now, people are always worried about, game companies, how Microsoft bought Blizzard and it's a monopoly. It's a monopoly. It's a monopoly. But yet, here you go, and you look at Amazon servers and Microsoft Azure, the 2 biggest things. There's only 2 of them, but they're not monopolies either. Why? Because there's 1, 2. They're both working in the industry together in cloud computing. Cloud computing is the future of video games. It's the future of computing. It's the future of everything because these companies are the biggest ones on the planet, and this is the way they're going. Bezos told about visiting a historical brewery emphasizes his point. He said that the hundreds-of-year-old brewery had a museum celebrating its heritage, and after the exhibit exhibited for a 100-year-old electric generator that used also before national power grids were even a thing. Bezos said it was saw the generator in the same way he sees local computing and solutions today, inferring on hopes that the user will move away from the local hardware to rent always online cloud-based solutions offered by Amazon and similar companies, right? Now, you're like, no, I'm never going to buy a computer, okay, or not buy a computer and use their cloud server until you are, because then they make computers now and they put less RAM in it. They put less graphic power in it to bring down the cost, but they're not bringing down the cost for you, the consumer, they're bringing down the cost for them. And then your computer actually does less. But if you want to do more, then you'll have to pay a subscription model to access their servers. That makes your portal, basically, okay, your laptop, your cell phone, whatever it is, it'll be more powerful because you'll be accessing their cloud, right? And I know people right now in chat are like, that's not going to happen, 30. Okay, if you say so. Okay, Bezos described the future that already is coming true in various ways. The very idea of simply owning a screen, keyboard, and mouse and using Windows remotely via a subscription will likely send shivers down many of your spines, but you have to consider the trends here. Now, mind you, I don't read these articles ahead of time. I do not even glance at them. I literally see them in the thing, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to put that in the story because I see the title. Okay? This is my thought process of what it is. This is it. Hundreds of millions of us have already given ownership over to music. That's right. right? No one's complaining about music. You know that? No one complains about music. No one complains about not owning their music anymore. And the people that do are such the minority, it doesn't really fucking matter anymore, right? TV shows. No one's complaining about not owning TV shows. Remember we used to go out and buy the box sets of Seinfeld and Smallville and all these other things and 24 and all these other things? No one's complaining about buying DVD TV shows anymore, right? Movies to the cloud. Companies like Spotify and Netflix both would run Amazon web servers, right? And I love it because you're like, I'm not going to use that stuff. I'm not going to use that stuff. Do you have a Netflix account? Do you have a Spotify account? I'm sure you do. So suck it up, you hypocrites, because everything is on servers now, okay? Both of which run Amazon's web server cloud gaming products like Amazon Luna and Video GeForce Now, right? Xbox Cloud Gaming are seeing steady growth. Shh, don't tell anybody. Nobody wants to see the steady growth happening, right? But that's not just about these niche scenarios. The vast majority of apps and servers people engage with online are entirely cloud-based, from Fortnite to TikTok. Its reality is so far-fetched and imagined that most people most likely be fine with it renting their full computing solution from companies like Microsoft and Amazon, okay? There's nothing wrong with it as the option, of course, but it's also, we end up with not having much of a choice in the coming years. That's correct. You won't have a choice because the big companies decide what your choice is. See, the illusion is that if you want to intake any kind of entertainment, anything, okay, you're probably using the cloud service in some way, shape, or form. And because you're paying for Netflix, because you're paying for Amazon, because you're paying for Spotify, because you're paying for any of these things, okay, all that money is going towards cloud computing, which is going into getting the infrastructure to put more stuff in, because they're like, all these people are using the stuff. We have more people coming to use Netflix. We have more people using Spotify. We have more people using these things. We're going to have to keep making these factories and over and over and over and over and over, okay? So a lot of people don't think this way. Right? You think you're not going to be using these things, but you're going to have no choice but to use these. It makes you feel like, oh, I have a choice. I'll just stop playing video games. Great. Stop playing video games. Then you're still paying for it because you have a cell phone, which uses the cloud servers. You have a television, which still uses the cloud servers, right? All of these things are using the cloud infrastructure, and it just gets better and better because multiple millions of people are using it every single day, and it gets better and better and better, and that's the way it goes, right? But the prices will never drop. The prices will stay the same, okay? Because they think you're like, well, I don't have to buy a computer anymore, so that'll be cost effective, right? Your computer costs $1,400, $2,000. Well, guess what? Your subscription model over the 5-year period of time that you would have had of actual computer, you're actually now paying for that, what would be a computer, and you're also paying for the subscription model, right? So it says, we've written a fair bit about the how DRAM prices are becoming untenable for customers. Companies like Dell, Asus, and others have signaled price increase across the PC range in the coming weeks, with chip companies like Micron and Samsung flat out refusing customer-grade orders of DRAM allocations. Micron has shut down its consumer operation for DRAM in the entirety. Okay, and why? The answer is AI, right? That's the thing, right? AI. Or, well, the answer really is the cloud. Okay. Will the depth be affordable for PC components force regular folks to hunt for cloud computing solutions? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Okay. AI needs the cloud in order to run every ChatGPT question, Gronk, Bikini Deepfake, or Copilot, Microsoft Paint, Metaslop requires cloud compute to generate. This means DRAM, but also increasing the other components too. SSD storage is also the next component expected to hit the storage, batting consumers' prices hard to process, right? Those who have a decent PC, gaming console, or laptop today are likely insulated into the near term, but what about the long term? What about when the components inevitably break down or get broken? What will prices look like in 2 to 3 years? Some analysts suggest the RAM prices could stabilize in a year or so, but consumers are effectively competing with the nation states. Okay, when it comes to some of these components, AI proponents also like OpenAI, Sam Altman, have legislated convinced that the tech is a matter of national security, either by way of military applications or as yet of Unreal's technology discovers the advancements. Luckily for Altman and shareholders, those unrealized promises require trillions of dollars worth of investment, specifically in cloud computing solutions to accelerize or actualize. right? There's also a hard cap of the amount of chips that the human race can physically produce at any one time. At least as they're writing this, the nation states effectively printing money on the outbid consumers' tech companies of basic components. I'm not sure demand will also come down at any time soon. No, it won't. That is, of course, unless investors of the nation states stop believing that AI can deliver anything more impressive than repackaging Reddit answers, meme slops, and blog posts for the vast majority. But see, it doesn't really matter, does it? It doesn't really matter, because if the companies believe that this is what the answer is, and the companies are making the actual thing, the only way you can stop something if the consumers stop buying it. But the problem is, when they get to a certain precipice or singularity of a point of no return, where everything that we own is being run by cloud or in some way, shape, or form, then it doesn't matter if we buy the product anymore, because then we're making it worse for ourselves, right? There's a point of no return, and we're not there just yet. But yet everyone just keeps doing what they're doing, and we are going to get to that point of no return. Because if we stop buying the products, they're not going to change the products to another thing if they're past the point of no return. They're like, nope, this is it. This is our future. Okay? So Microsoft is already working on a cloud-based version of Windows for consumers based on its business-grade cloud PC product Windows 365 and seamlessly deprioritize a customer's version over the past few years. Okay? Doubtless, in a part of the because of the economic don't work today, given that they also can still get pretty cheap, but also decent casual laptops. But given the way that things are going, it wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft ended up making another go for it. Either way, cloud computing isn't exactly cheap to run either. Xbox Game Pass 1440p cloud gaming costs $30 a month. Okay? And NVIDIA itself just added a 100-hour cap in the cloud gaming platforms, most likely because the economics simply doesn't work to make it any more affordable, right, versus what people are actually willing to pay. The same could be true for the AI solution like ChatGPT and Copilot. Are the products actually good enough to most people that would want to pay for them? Okay, so will cloud gaming and cloud PC become norm someday? Yes. Will cloud gaming and cloud PCs become norm someday? Or is Bezos wrong on this one? They're free right now, as Microsoft ET hopes form habits around them and then eventually charge for them. That's exactly right. Give it to you now, get dependent on the actual thing, and then just conform into the actual thing. Okay? But if they look at ChatGPT and Copilot away from users tomorrow, they ask them to pay $10 a month for it. I think many of us would be like, nah, I'm good. These products right now are costing millions of dollars a day to run and have yet to actually generate profitability for many of the biggest players. That's the real problem. It's easy to get conspiratorial in today's times and presume that it was also part of some wider coordinated plan to rob us of the last vintage of ownership. This is not a conspiracy, right? See, conspiracy theories and stuff were made by the government because they don't want you to believe that the things that you're saying are actual true, right? So they have to put the conspiracy thing out there, okay? This is exactly what it is. This is not a conspiracy, okay? When the corporations decide to make the thing that they want to make, and they want to make a shit ton of money off of it, they have to get everybody else on board with it. Otherwise, it doesn't go through. Right? Remember, hell, this is just recent. Remember global warming? Remember all the stuff they tell you, right? Oh, well, the seas are rising and all this and weather and all this other stuff is happening. We have to stop doing these. Well, guess what? All of these products they sell to you for aerosol and all these other things and tell you that, right? They made shit ton of money. Don't you want to protect the earth? Don't you want to, you don't love your planet? Okay. And now they're like, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist, right? It was a conspiracy until it wasn't, right? This is the exact same thing. When corporations want to put, hey, cloud gaming, right? And they're like, hey, Amazon, you should get on this cloud gaming. You build the servers. We'll start doing the servers. We'll do servers as well. And then we'll have to move towards this, right? And if the big companies are doing it, well, you have no other fucking choice unless you make your own new company and try to build it up, okay? Great example, again, is you guys ever watched the new Wonka movie with Chalamet, okay? Wonka comes in to try to sell his chocolate, but there's already 3 chocolate companies all working together to shut everyone else down, right? raise the prices and do the stuff, and he's the new guy trying to come in. If there's new people trying to come in, cool. But if there's no one coming in, the corporations work together so they can get the most money out of everybody. Okay? It says it's easy to conspiracy advantages of ownership unless something changes with regards to electric costs, and it's like I'm not seeing this future. Cloud computing is essentially local computing with extra quiet prices steps towards consumers' use scenarios unless the economic of local hardware truly does fall off the cliff somewhere down the line. I can't see Bezos' vision of the cloud-only future coming true anytime soon, even for casual PC users. Now, I love this. I love this when people say, I can't see it coming true in the near future. What's the near future for you, right? What's the near future for you? Would you say 6 to 7 years? I could say 6 to 7 years, right? Remember the stories when people tell you, you go, oh, man, I remember when it worked when I was a kid. And now you look at stuff and it's broke. I remember when toys were good, and now they're cheap plastic pieces of shit. But people keep buying them, okay? Well, technically they're not. That's why there's no toys anymore, right? It says, I'm sure these companies salivate at the idea of destroying all memes of ownership, okay? But if Spotify and Netflix are evidence, perhaps people at scale really don't care either way. That's right. They don't. They don't care. Okay? So remember, there was articles written that, no, physical games is 80 to 20%. Digital games will not take over. There was articles written about that. There was people talking about how digital games would take over. Is that conspiracy? I guess it would be conspiracy back then, and now it's factual, right? So I love the fact that people just want to deny it. They're like, no, because you can't fathom, you can't compute right now that cloud gaming is going to take over, because you're like, cloud gaming right now is crap. But was cloud gaming this good last year? Was it that good the year before? No, it wasn't. Okay? Look at the AI technology that's happened. Okay? It's moved so goddamn fast that there's people making commercials now with AI. There's people making movies of AI. There's fan films using AI. And everyone's like, it looks like AI. Just a year and a half ago, it looked like crap. And now we're 6 months away from a full-length feature film being posted in the theater, and where people can actually pay to see it, and it'll be all AI. Right? People can't fathom about computing. They can't fathom where the future goes. They just don't know. They just eat it up, spoon it up, and deny. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys think in the live chat. Do you think cloud computing is coming a decade from now, or do you think it'll be much sooner from now? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the live chat. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. Right? I know that I'm the crazy guy on the internet. Okay? I know that what I say and people are like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about and whatnot. It's cool. Okay? But I also know how corporations work. I also know I've seen the things. I pay attention to things. Right? All of these things will come true. Sarge says, to be fair though, bro, all rockets look like penises. No. Jeff Bezos rockets literally look like dicks. Regular rockets are just aerodynamic, and they're just, they look like rockets. Jeff Bezos rockets look like a dick. Mr. Z says he has just gone into the trust me bro zone. Hey, Jeff, are you not Lex, Tony Stark? What's going on, Ford? But can it run Concord? It will. There is no Concord. Waterbear says our robot overlords are leveling up. Sard says 400 CDs with boxes on iPods, and I own my music. Waterbear says 30 Hightail just dropped about 30 minutes ago, early access. Yep. We're going to play it later today. Travis says, 30, you don't have a choice. You don't get to say you have owners that they own you. George Carlin, 20 years ago. Sarge says, no choice, bro. Subscriptions, bro. All the subscriptions. That's it. Crowded says, not having control of my videos seems like it's going to be the least of our problems in the future. They want to control everything. This is fucking Big Brother 1984 shit. Crowded also says, not even trying to be funny. Are the schools still having kids read in 1984? Because they should. This is fucked up. Altered says, conspiracy, dude, this is actually happening. Who the fuck wrote this? This is Jez Gordon. Jez Gordon wrote this. Jason says, enjoy the bugs, everyone. Travis says 2 to 3 years at most. Mr. Z says the voice sounds and speeds might be off in the AI Star Wars movies, but the expressions on the models and the acting actually seems better than a lot of the actual film projects. Yeah, but that stuff will get fixed, Z. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, what we watched 6 months ago is the worst it'll ever be. What we watched last week is the worst it'll ever be. Just look at the Star Wars fan films that have come out, and look at what even what's his name, Star Wars Theory, right? Look at what he made a couple years ago, where he actually filmed things. Have you watched his footage of him reacting to people that make the fan films? Have you watched it? Have you seen his reaction? He's like, bro. He's taking millions of dollars, okay, to make his fan film, and someone makes a Zelda fan film for $300 in one afternoon. Like, you got to sit there and go, well, this is stupid. Why am I going to spend $1 million to make something if I'm just a passionate fan? Just Enough says Computer Rentals is already here. Computer Rentals has been here a long time. You understand there's a whole business of rentals, right? Like, there's rent-a-centers out there. Rent-a-centers, literally, you go to people's houses, they literally have their entire living room rented, right? There's a whole business model. Millions and millions of people buy furniture for rent, and they just put it in their houses. Travis says, didn't Disney just sign a deal with Sora? It's definitely coming. They had to, Travis. Do you understand? They had to. Because Disney, if they didn't sign, every AI platform out there would be destroying their IPs left and right, right? So they had to sign. It was almost like a hostage situation, right? They're like, well, who's the best one that we have? Now, I'm sure if you follow the books, okay, they probably had investors already in Sora AI. So now the company itself invested in Sora AI and probably went to the board of directors and said, we have to do something, because if we don't pick a AI program to go with, all of them are going to be copying our stuff and will be obsolete in 5 years. Okay? So like, well, how do we fix this? So they're like, let's pay $1.8 billion towards OpenAI, okay? That way, that's the only platform that can do stuff. And if people want to make the stuff, well, then we own the stuff because we're licensing it out to them. And anyone that wants to use the OpenAI can use for certain brands. Everything else gets flagged, okay? And they only have to worry about the other ones. Everybody else is trying to make it, they can flag and sue, right? Which then gets them in a more of a cycle, because 3 years from now when their contract ends, I think it's a year. Is it a year or 3 years? I think it was 3 years, okay? Now that 3 years later happens, now they're going to have to extend their contract, and OpenAI wins, right? But they're doing a testing right now. They're like, well, let the fans make all the stuff, and then we own it because it's our stuff, but they're using OpenAI, okay? So they're making money on the back end from there. Clip says, yeah, my dad rented a big-ass TV back in the day and eventually owned it, but it was also rented at one point. Travis says, oh, no, I definitely know. You got to do the thing with, even though the signing an AI is still going to be Disney, will use it more than people, in my opinion. Oh, 100%. But they also can have the data that everyone else is making so they can make theirs better. They had to. Because if they didn't, they would be done. Do you understand if all the AI can just intellectual properties and steal the copyright material, right? Which, again, is still theft. Okay, if you're making a fan film and stuff like that, cool. But if you're just plainly going out there and you're making money off of YouTube channels, YouTube is pulling stuff down left and right because of copyright material, Okay, it doesn't matter if it's fan-made or not, right? Fan-made's different. Like if I dress up as a Jedi and make a fan film is different than if I actually put Luke fucking Skywalker in the actual fan film. Do you understand the difference? I could play Luke Skywalker and say I'm Luke Skywalker, right? But if I can literally take Mark Hamill's likeness, sound, and everything and put it in a thing, that is copyright infringement galore. They had to stop it. Think about that for minimum people. Disney, one of the most powerful companies on God's green earth, had to cave. That's your proof. AI isn't going to bust. Or isn't going to burst. I think people are starting to realize that AI isn't a bubble. It's here to stay, and it's going to be extremely profitable. Correct. But it's also going to be extremely profitable for the one percenters. not for the average goer, Aku. It's not going to be profitable for the average person. Ray says Planet Battles episode The Revenge of the Space Wizards. So there you go. There's Jeff Bezos' story about cloud computing. And guess what? It would behoove them to do that because Amazon is the world's largest server. Second is Microsoft. And third, I believe, is NVIDIA. So guess where they're going, right? See, everyone looks at it as the console war of Nintendo, PlayStation, and Microsoft. And I look at it as just the spectrum of companies making money. And Microsoft's like, yeah, we can still dabble over here, but this is where the money's at. Okay? And they're already established. They already have the servers. They've had the servers for decades. And everyone's like, yeah, but they're not selling Xboxes. Like, that's all they see. They don't see more than 2 inches in front of their face. They don't see the broader picture of what's happening. They're like, no, it's about plastic boxes, my friend. Plastic boxes. Like I literally play with my headset, right? My MetaQuest 2. Okay, MetaQuest 2. There's nothing in there. It's just glasses. It's just a headset. And I can play so many games. Right? Sure, it's downloading, but I don't have to plug it in to download anything. It's coming from the cloud. I can stream my Xbox, my PC, all of the stuff through the cloud. When my Game Pass runs out, I will go full Luna because they're already in my my Prime subs. There you go. There you go. All right, the next story. The next story we have is while Arc Raiders Cruises Battlefield 6 player count has plummeted on the Steam charts, but why? Here's what the diehard fan of first-person shooters think. If you guys like what I do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. If you'd like to get your comment heard, you can use the TTS command up above in the chat. And that's about it. All right. So while Arc Raiders Cruises Battlefield 6 player count has plummeted on the Steam charts, but why? Here's what the diehard fan of the first-person shooters think. Battlefield 6 player count has dropped significantly 3 months after launch, while Arc Raiders is still cruising at the heights of success. Okay. So 2 of the biggest new games came out late of 2025, and Battlefield 6 launching in early October, and Arc Raiders dropping at the end of the month. But while both titles were massively successful across Xbox, PC, and PlayStation 5 in their first several weeks availability, player counts on Steam charts have begun to tell a different story as we moved into the new year. Presently, Battlefield 6 in the game has peaked at 747,000 on Steam players, and launched according to SteamDB data, only has 55,483 soldiers deployed into digital battlegrounds, right, as of right now, as a model. In fairness, it is Monday morning. I love how that. Well, it's only Monday, so it could get better. Okay, as of writing this, but even so, the large-scale FPS has struggled to hit 100,000 players at peak hours, recently averaging 85 to 100,000 at that time. Okay, Now, this is a sharp contrast to Arc Raiders, which has largely retained the following quickly occurred at release. Embark Studios' explosively popular extraction shooter launched with a peak of 481,000 players, but in SteamDB page shows that it's still hitting 24-hour heights of 422,000 months later, with 226,550 exploring the waste beyond Speranza as of writing this. How come he didn't put on Monday? How come he didn't put it on Monday? See, this is what I don't like when writers do this shit. They have to tell you that the small number here, well, Battlefield's struggling because I did look at it on Monday morning and it is what it is. Okay, when did you look at this? Was this also not on Monday morning? Was this at peak time on like Friday, Saturday? Get the fuck out of here. I hate when they do this shit like this. Despite having a terrific launch and being the best-selling game of 2025, Battlefield 6 has so far proven that they have weaker legs of the two shooters. Granted, I'm not saying that this is time ring alarm bells. The 8th place for daily active users on Steam and the platform 11th top seller on Xbox most played game charts is neck to neck with Arc Raiders, suggesting things are closer on console. Sure they are. Do you know what I also love, guys? Okay. Do you know what I also love? Is that, remember, Battlefield 6 was supposed to be competing against Call of Duty. But because they don't sell the Call of Duty numbers, they really can't say it, but they know the Arc Raider numbers. And mind you, remember, if we take this from face value, Splitgate developers are like, well, you can't measure this by just Steam charts. You have to measure it by other things as well. Maybe the game's doing fantastic. Maybe. But it's always very interesting to see when they make articles and they take for what they want to make it the way they want. Okay? Even so, though, it's been clear that major drop of Battlefield 6 overall compared to Embark's fan-favorite title, but why is that? Well, as someone who played upwards of 200 hours of Electronic Arts Battlefield Studios' all-out warfare shooter since it released, I think there's a few different factors in play. Well, I think there's your bias right there. Let me tell you, I didn't play Battlefield for 200 hours. I played the beta, and I could tell you that that game was going to be broke, buggy, and unfinished when it came out. Yes, it's the best Battlefield in the last decade because the other two Battlefield games that came out were also broke, buggy, and unfinished. Looking at you, Battlefield 5, looking at you, Battlefield 2042. And every time they make a comparison of Battlefield 6, this game is much better than Battlefield 2042 at launch. That's correct. But Battlefield 2042 is actually a better game right now than Battlefield 6. But it also had 4 years of development time on top of the already time that it had in front of that. Okay, so firstly, despite Battlefield 6 now featuring 11 different maps, all of them considerably smaller than larger stages from the previous titles and gave players a vehicle more room to breathe and more space to cover to work with, this has led to widespread complaints that the gameplay feels too crowded and somewhat Call of Duty-like, even though the big maps like Myrick Valley and the shrunken down remake of Battlefield 3's Operation Firestorm. Yeah, way to catch up 3 months later, okay? Feels too crowded and somewhat like Call of Duty. No, but when we were saying that Battlefield 6 is Call of Duty, everyone was saying that, no, it doesn't feel anything like Call of Duty. We're talking about the map sizes, which obviously they wanted to sell the games towards Call of Duty members because you saw so many people from Call of Duty come over, hence why it made the sales that it did, because Call of Duty guys came over thinking that Battlefield was Call of Duty, but they shortly went back to Call of Duty, hence why Call of Duty numbers, there's more people playing Call of Duty now than Battlefield. There's also an expressed disappointment about the cadence of Battlefield 6 content drop, with many arguing that the only two maps, both of which were, again, too small, and a handful of limited time modes that also didn't land well, weren't enough for Season 1. And the game's live service, I like Ice Locked a lot, but maps should be the priority. No, the priority should have been make a game, sell a game. The game should have been not released yet, but because Grand Theft Auto 6 didn't come out last year, Battlefield 6 said, this is our opportunity. We're never going to get another opportunity like this. We need to take it, strike while the iron's hot. And bravo, because they sold 10 million units. So it doesn't really matter now if they fix the game or not, because they obviously sold the game that they wanted to sell to people that got duped. Majority of them. All right, to offer a good comparison, Battlefield 4's 5 expansion packs released late 2013 through late 2014, each contained 4 maps. Okay? But they gave you a battle royale for free. That's a one giant map. And Battlefield doesn't feel like Battlefield at all. Okay? The game's controversial progression system is worth touching on as well. Many feel that it's too grindy, with many weapon attachments locked behind significant time investment and different cameo cosmetics only obtainable by using specific weapons you may not like. If attachments were easier to unlock and camos were unlocked for guns individually as you got them higher levels, I think players would also be much happier. Please add more loadout options for helicopter and jets too. They made it 4 times more grindy than normal. Why? Because they want you to continue playing their game. They didn't want to make a Battlefield game. They wanted to make you a game that you would last more time in it, grinding your ass off and not actually having fun. Finally, I also be remiss to not mention that Battlefield's technical issues, as many players have frequently reported hit registration problems, lag causing them to die even though they get into full cover, buggy animations when engaging enemy soldiers, and other mishaps. These can also make the moment-to-moment gameplay feel inconsistent and frustrating, taking away from experience considerably. Oh, you mean that it's not complete? It's broke, buggy, and unfinished? And it's been out for 3 months? Don't worry. Don't worry. You have 15 more months before it's fixed. Okay? There are so many other things like widely hated Netflix-style UI, the poor job Battlefield Studios has done to showcase community-made Portal experiences, and the continuous balancing and breakthrough mode. The aforementioned issues, though, are Battlefield 6's biggest problems. That's a lot of fucking problems, by the way. And I don't think we'll see the FPS regain some of its popularity before they address them. Okay? Though it's hard to compare them directly since there's 2 different types of shooters. I say Arc Raiders has done a better job of delivering post-launch content so far, and it's also has a mere satisfaction progression system and clear, more reliable netcode. Right? This is for reasons alongside highly dynamic nature of the PvPvE games that also make entire experience unpredictable that I believe are performing better than Battlefield 6. First of all, I think this is a stupid fucking article, okay? Because you're comparing Arc Raiders to Battlefield 6 when you really should be comparing it to a Call of Duty type of thing or the other Battlefield games in the past. But to compare it to Arc Raiders because it's the most popular game is just idiotic. It really is. It's just so stupid. Okay? One, this entire time in this article, because he played 200 hours inside the article, he makes it a shit sandwich where he gives it a compliment and then gives it about the bad stuff and then gives it a compliment again, right? Oh, Battlefield, I did get these numbers on a Monday, though, so it shouldn't be that bad. And then, oh, well, it is going up against Arc Raiders, and it's still a good game. Look, broken record as I am, Battlefield 6 is not a Battlefield game. It was marketed towards Call of Duty guys, and if you don't believe that, go back and look at the promotional event that they had where they put 200 people in a warehouse and see how many actual people actually played Battlefield. I know there's big fans out there. I know Tim the Tatman really wanted a Battle Royale, and all these other people out there that really were big fans of Battlefield. And let's go see where all those people are playing games right now. Are they playing Battlefield? No, because they don't give a shit about Battlefield. Instead of making a Battlefield game for the Battlefield players over the years that have been supporting this company, all the way back from 1942 all the way up to, well, I stopped at Battlefield 1. Okay? That's the last time I bought one. Instead of making games for those people, you went for the other clientele, and congratulations, you got it. You got the 10 million sales of people that don't give 2 shits about your game, and what have you done for me lately until Battlefield 7 comes out. Great knowing you. Have a good time. I'll see you when you come to Game Pass. These are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. Sarge says, why, bro? Why? No, not Battlefield 6. Why? Ford says, Luna is Amazon's cloud gaming service. Yeah. It's included with your Prime if you have Prime. If they're doing so good, why not show the numbers like Arc Raiders did? Yeah. It's the greatest Battlefield game ever sold, though. Shill's got a shill for EA. Call of Duty, like, roll on the floor, you fucking tool. Altered says, wow, they took 3 months to finally realize Battlefield 6 is COD. Right? Ray says, 200 Game Pass has a cloud service with a library of games, and Xbox play your games in the cloud. The same with Amazon. Amazing library of games is small, but it's also included with the Prime already. Let's see here. It doesn't matter. Cha-ching, they got their money. Do you think GTA 6 is going to be riddled with live service shit? And if it is, will the reviewers draw attention to it? I don't think it's two separate games, Crowded. At least based off of what they've done in the past, right? So Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, the single player is going to be single player. Like, that's what you do, right? But the GTA Online is 100% going to be riddled with live service shit. But they're two separate things. Even if you buy the game and the online's included like it was before, or you just buy the online later, that's going to be riddled with live service stuff. The game itself, I don't think is going to be live service stuff. Eclipse says, how does a game developed by a company that came from EA have better netcode than EA? Because the people that left EA are the people that knew how to do the netcode. Travis says GTA 6 ain't coming until 2027. That's a fact. It doesn't really matter when it comes. The question is, when it comes, what happens to the industry then? All right, we got done with that one. Then we have exactly what happens. What happens is, you want me to tell you what happens? What happens is, doesn't matter if the game comes out broke, buggy, unfinished, or if it comes out, it's a masterpiece. Articles will be written. People will absolutely love the game. It's going to break records, pre-orders, day one, week one, month one, year one. Okay, it's going to be the most profitable game when 5 years down the road, and that's it. That's what's going to happen to Grand Theft Auto 6. The pundits will start writing articles. The first $100 video game. All the other companies will start making $100 video games. No one will be able to afford the actual consoles or the video games itself. And then people will just be paying for live service games on a subscription model. If that's Amazon, if that's Game Pass, if that's Nvidia, if that's PlayStation, if that's Nintendo, this is what's going to happen once Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out. Mr. Z says, comes out when the big platforms say it will run on the cloud service. That's my call. Yeah, I agree. I'll agree with that. There's going to be a lot of different reports coming out, man. But you know what? When Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, I guarantee you there will still be more articles written about Starfield. There'll still be more articles written about Starfield. Like us, when's Starfield's third DLC coming out? Is there going to be a Starfield 2? Yep, Rockstar will have another top-selling game on the list. Altern says, if GTA 6 comes out in 2027, you know what will happen? It will win most anticipated game 3 years in a row at the Game Awards. That is true. That is true. People are scared of this, but people have been playing Blizzard to play the old MMO for years. Crowd says, will Beyond Good and Evil 2 be live service? Oh, 100%. It'll be the first, we already had the quadruple A game, which was Skull and Bones. So Beyond Good and Evil 2 will be the well, what would 5 be? Quince's Studio? Is that what it would be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, Cinco, right? Cinco Studio. Be the first 5A. Here's a real question. How badly is Marathon going to flop? I give it 2 months. My gut tells me it comes out. It comes out. It does decent. It does decent. And then it falls off a cliff. And then they fix it. And then it just kind of maintains. And they hold it on for about a year, a little over a year. And then they just kind of let it just go away. Or they revamp it. And then they announce Destiny 3. Ray says, all the people asking for Starfield DLC are PlayStation fanboys who want it to fail so badly. Why? They're going to pay full price for it when it comes out on their system. We all know that. They're going to get it for cheaper, and they're going to pay full price for it. They'll get all the DLCs, right? So they'll get the game at the full price, but it'll come with the 2 DLCs. Yeah, see, I just think it's funny, right? Did you guys see? Obviously, it was. I don't know if it's true or not. There's rumors going around, but are you guys ready for this to happen? Are you guys ready for this? The internet will completely blow up. Okay, hold on. Let me show you. Let me find it. Right? I know it's not real. But I gotta bring it up anyway, right? This will literally make the internet. People will lose their mind. People will lose their mind if and when this happens. They'll be like, "What are you doing, PlayStation?" They will lose their collective minds. Right? Even though the game came out in 2018. Yeah. It's like 8 years later. Right? They will lose their absolute mind if this happens. Ray says Starfield is trash as long as it's not on PlayStation. Mr. Z says, and the PlayStation fanboys will know that the PC players have no problem waiting for the game to drop in better state with better content. Yeah, exactly right. Yo, 30, NetEase just said that they're releasing Season 6 Dev Vision for Rivals in an hour. Okay. So, at noon? Like the vision of what they see happening, like they're gonna announce like a what's it called? Their plans for the game, like PvE stuff that's coming in. Is that what we're thinking? What's going on, Mr. Luke? Luke, I don't know when. Like I'm trying to find a time again to what's it called? Play some games with you in the afternoon. I don't know what your schedule looks like. But I've been busy doing stuff around the house and stuff. So I'm not sure. I was thinking about maybe doing a hightail this afternoon, but I don't think I can. Because they just something came up for this afternoon. So I'm gonna do hightail this evening. But we got to figure out a time to play some games again. Ray says the internet will blow up. If Orange Boy passes away, the internet will go on fire for at least 3 months. Have you heard how many people are excited for Avowed? Yeah, people are excited for Avowed, and they also get it for a cheaper price, which should have been the price in the beginning anyway. Oh, they're going to go over stuff for Season 6 and show Deadpool. Okay. Jason says, I hate Starfield because it looks like ass. But real quick, before I was supposed to read that one, I was supposed to read this one. The only reason PlayStation people hate Starfield is because it's not on PlayStation. Clip says, I agree. PlayStation's getting it for the price it should be. Oh, 100%. But I got it for the best price, which was Game Pass price before it raised up in price, even though I'm not paying for the raised price. It has a lot of games, man. I got Hytale. We got the update coming out soon for Division 2 in March. We've got Fallout 76 that we got to play. We got more Ark Raiders we got to play. We got Helldivers update. All right, the next one. Epic Games. Epic Games Store has grown massively, but has trained users to never buy anything. Is Xbox PC going down the same path? Yes, Xbox wants that. Do people not understand what Xbox is trying to do? Are people still confused by this? Like, I'm confused that they're confused. How are people so confused on the business model of Xbox? They don't want you to buy anything. They want you to subscribe. I don't understand. They don't want you. The people that want to buy, cool, buy. But they want the majority of the people to rent the games on the service. Holy Christ. Like, I wonder if these people, I wonder if Adam Hales here, okay, has Netflix and Spotify. I want to know. Like, really? Anyway, I do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Okay? Epic Games Store has grown massively, but it's also trained users to never buy anything. Is Xbox PC going down the same path? Let's find out, shall we? Online discourse is damned. Particularly on Reddit, Epic Games Store has come under scrutiny in recent days as users compare its growth between 2019 and 2024. During that period, the platform grew 173%, rise from 108 million users to more than 295 million. Okay. However, that growth has not translated into spending. Third-party revenue only increased 1.6 over the same time frame, showing that Epic has attracted a huge audience. Very little of the audience is actually buying games on the platform. Well, they're giving free games away. So people make an account, get on, download the thing, and then they fuck off. That's it. I literally went on the other day, haven't put Epic Launcher on for I don't know how long, okay, just to download the free game they were giving out. I was like, I'll play it later. Backlog. Okay, for those who don't know, Epic Game Store is Epic's answer to Steam. Well, they just got a shopping cart, so they just gifted, sorry. Valve's PC storefront dominates the market. Steam is going on a go-to platform of the most PC players. It's part because it simply works and does not get in the way of the user experience. That's right. Steam is not making something that's like so awesome, that's amazing. No, they just respect the players that are on it. And Epic's like, they can't have that. They got to lower their standards to us. Steam was not always that way. When it first launched in early 2000, it faced heavy criticism, but that's the story for another time. We already read that story. The Epic Games Store launched in 2018 and immediately tried to take the market share from Steam by offering developers a better revenue split by locking down exclusive releases. That's right. They were so small-minded. They're like, well, it worked on the consoles. If we have exclusives on consoles, that's when consoles sold. But we only had 250 million people that ever bought all three consoles at all at one time. What a small little mindset that is, right? Immediately tried to take the market share. That approach did very little to win over the players, but Epic also had since moved away from it and does still provide a better revenue split. Okay. Instead, Epic leaned heavily into free games to bring users onto platform. While the strategy worked in terms of signups, it also turned the store into a place where many people only open claim giveaways before closing it again, which is something I also do. Everybody does it. Everybody does it. That's because you're not charging anything. That's not what Microsoft is doing. Microsoft says, hey, you want to download that game? Cool. $15. $15 a month. You can download all these games you want. But if you stop paying the $15, then you don't get access to those games. I know, it's crazy. What a comparison. Epic says, download our free launcher, download our free games, but they're not coming back. Yeah, but they're also paying $25 for a Fortnite skin. So go fuck yourself, right? It's an easy point to and laugh at Epic here, but the platform does, or at least did, offer a worse overall experience than the Steam in almost every single way. It launched without even many basic features, while it's also spent years filling in those gaps for some users that has also come too late, right? There's no gifting. There was no shopping cart. Like, it's mind-boggling. They're like, let's make the shittiest thing possible. I can't believe people are not signing up. What do we have to do? We should give them free games. That's brilliant. Okay? So is Xbox PC problem as well? Is this the Xbox PC problem as well? It's easy to draw some parallels between Epic Game Store and Xbox PC. Both are competing with Steam, and both lack features by comparison, but that is largely where the similarities end. Well, thank God you said that. Okay? While it's easy to be cynical about Microslop, that's the thing we're going with, right? Everyone's calling it Microslop now. The Xbox app relies heavily on subscriptions through Game Pass rather than giveaways. I am so glad that the person that's writing this article actually figured it out. Is it Jez? No, it's Adam, right? It's this guy up here, right? I'm so glad he figured it out because, duh, that's exactly right. Where I lost my spot now. Yeah. Place on many people other than claim giveaways. Users are too late. All right. Comparison largely where the similarities end. Okay. It says PC Game Pass has seen a 45% year-over-year growth, which shows that even if with features gaps, there's also an engaging audience willing to spend money rather than just opening the app and claim free games and leave. You know what's also funny? I brought this up on my podcast many times. Okay. Remember when Microsoft raised it to $30 and collectively all the grifters on YouTube all lost their minds because they were pissed off that it raised up to $30? By being upset about raising the $30, they exposed themselves because they were also paying for Game Pass before it rose to $30, even though they told you that Game Pass was terrible and bad and nobody wants it. Yeah, those people. And there's a lot of them. I don't need to name names because they're all there. They were all upset about Game Pass raising their price. I actually said it in, it's Alex's stream this week on Saturday night. I don't really watch his stuff live, right? And I said it to him, and he read it out loud and was like, holy shit, that's true, right? The people that were upset about the $30 price increase just exposed themselves that they already were paying for Game Pass, even though they told you that Game Pass sucked balls and they hated it. Okay, so PC Game Pass has a 45% year-over-year growth, which also shows even the feature gaps. That's also engaged audience willing to spend money rather than just open the app, get the free thing, and move on. Okay, while this is not directly tied to Xbox PC console, players also show a strong willingness to spend, especially on a shooter. Okay, even though the PlayStation is estimated to outsell Xbox hardware by roughly 3-1, Xbox users still turn out large on numbers to buy certain games, which you can also read more below, which we showed on GXG this past week. Okay, unlike Epic, Xbox is also investing heavily in cross-device ecosystems across cloud, console, and PC. The long-term goal is to future Xbox hardware to blur the line between console and PC. That's right. Because you as a customer shouldn't care where you play. You should just play and be able to play with your friends. Bring Xbox and Steam libraries together all in one place. The vision that also keeps me an Xbox ecosystem. Right? It also offers more open and flexible future than closed platform that simply repeats the same cycle each generation. Now, mind you, if PC does this, Steam does this, Xbox does this, it's going to put pressure, okay? Because I could play Amazon Luna on any PC or any platform, right? I can play GeForce Now, soon to be on television sets on the Amazon TV sticks, right? Wherever I want. I can play on the Meta Quest, okay? I can play my Xbox and Steam from wherever I want. And when all of these companies start doing these things, the only two companies that are left out in the cold right now is PlayStation and Nintendo. Now, obviously, you can play your PlayStation, okay, on Wi-Fi and other places, just like you can on cloud, okay? And these two companies, though, are not invested into cloud servers. They're not invested into these type of things. So they're on the old school right now, right? They're looking like the horse and carriage of the future. The future is cloud gaming. The future is subscription models and stuff like that. Now, obviously, they have their subscription models. They have Nintendo subscription model. They have PlayStation Plus subscription model. Okay. So they have these things, but they're, as Bezos said, antiquated, okay, a business model. Okay. People just want to be able to buy a game and play it wherever they want. The future of PC gaming is Steam for now. Unfortunately for Xbox and Epic, PC users have had a very good for a long time with Steam. An user-focused approach on the sustainable feature set means that it was not given players many reasons to leave, which is likely why both Xbox and Epic now seem more focused on carving out their own lanes rather than trying directly to replace it. In Xbox case, the next generation of hardware is expected to support multiple storefronts, including Steam and Epic for Epic. It has taken a different route, allowing the things to Steam does not, such as NFT-based games, and by publicly supporting use of AI in development. Tim Sweeney, Epic CEO, has also criticized Steam for requiring developers to disclose AI usage. What was once felt like a space where Epic and Xbox could not exist now feels like one where they coexist is possible, and that is fine. While neither platform is likely to take meaningful market share from Steam, neither of them needs to be in order to succeed on PC. Exactly right. Xbox is not trying to be number one, right? Epic's not trying to be number one. They're just trying to get their piece of the pie in that sector. That reality is reflected in how it is also used. I still open Epic Game Store to claim free games while spending most of my time working through my Steam and Xbox backlogs, often forgetting that Epic is even there. And that's on the same screen that you pick Steam every day. You'll click on all these other things to open up your games on your desktop, but no one clicks on the Epic Games launcher. They don't. Okay. So it does not make Epic a failure specifically since they brought over $1.09 billion in revenue in 2024. By comparison, Steam pulled in $1.6 billion in December alone. While Epic may never reach the same scale goodwill as Steam, it does not need in order to remain successful. Okay. Yeah, Epic is fine. They've actually even said that the launcher and the games they pay for to put on Epic Launcher is a loss leader, right? Because, yeah, they might not be buying or playing the games in the launcher, but they're making hand money hand over fist from all the other games that they have on there, like a Fortnite. Fortnite brings in so much money. Do you guys understand how much money Fortnite brings in with all the different things, with the battle passes, the skins, the different things that they're doing, the investments they bring in, the advertisements they get paid to put their stuff in the thing, right? Disney's not giving them anything. Putting The Simpsons in there, right? Putting South Park in there, putting Marvel in there, putting Star Wars in there. They pay them buku bucks to advertise for that. But let me know what you guys think. These are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. What do you think about the Epic Game Store? It's grown massively. Do you think the Xbox and PC going down the same path? I don't believe so, because they charge to use their services where Epic does not. Again, my thoughts. Let me know yours, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, let me see. Ray says, how many times have we bought a game on Steam and didn't know we already owned it on Epic? You know, it's funny that you say that, because I did that with, what's it called? Lord of the Rings, Return of Moria. I was like, I'm going to buy it on Steam. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I think I own that on Epic. Crowd says, I'm a little behind, but I really don't think Marathon will flop, but only time will tell. Yeah, I don't think it'll flop. I've said what I think was it last week? I said what it would probably go in as about as, their full player base. I said about 150 million and stuff like that. Or not 150 million, Jesus Christ. 150,000 concurrent. Just enough says, my question is, why do people want Marathon to flop? It's very simple. Bungie. People want Bungie to flop, and Marathon is Bungie. They want Bungie to flop because of all the shit they've done over the years. That's why. Ray says, I now have 600 plus games on Epic, and trying to find a game to play suck. No category or research bar doesn't work well. Titan says, anti-live service Destiny 3 is 2 of many reasons why. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Waterbear says, day and date is the reason I pay for PC Game Pass. If there's anything coming out I'm interested in playing, I'll just stop the subscription. Eclipse says, because Marathon is nothing like the Marathon I grew up with, and even said the aliens aren't the thing. Like what? Ray says, funny enough, PlayStation has a superior cloud quality and library. Titan says, good point. OG Marathon is a single player. Waterbear says, damn, so it pulled in, what, 12 times as much as the pick launcher? Yeah. Yeah, the Fortnite makes a shit ton of money. A shit ton of money. And they're looking to make more money. If that gambling thing goes in, my son's done playing. Eclipse says, I'm so disappointed about South Park. They let me down as a fan. Oh, what? I haven't played it. I haven't played it yet. What's wrong with it? Not good? Every Unreal Engine game sold on Steam is Epic money. Yeah. Yeah. You don't hear them complaining, right? I mean, it doesn't make sense that people just don't understand how businesses are run. Epic makes money off of Steam. Steam makes money off of Steam. You know what I mean? Like all of these companies, Xbox makes money. That's why they're putting games on Steam and Epic and wherever else. They're just like, yeah, put it out there. I wonder how many parents will be also getting charged for Fortnite gambling on their credit cards. They'll just see a charge go up. They're like, what are you getting V-Bucks for? It won't say for gambling. Let's see here. I saw this morning. More footage of canceled Monolith Batman game surfaces online. I didn't know there was footage before. Okay, a whole cache of documents and footage from canceled Monolith Batman game have surfaced online, showcasing audio systems, characters, art, mechanics, vehicles, and more. Footage of other details about the canceled Batman game have also been surfacing online quite some time now. Last year, we saw a concept art and other potential footage from the canceled Damian Batman game with WB Games Montreal. Not much more footage has been released on Monolith title, along with additional details. New footage shows audio systems, character art, game mechanics, and more for canceled Monolith Batman game. The cache of footage and documents are canceled. Monolith Batman game comes through a series of posts of Mr. Tillerton on Blue Sky. The bulk of the footage was part internal facing of Warner Brothers facing pre-production milestones deliverables. However, some files are from the actual build. The first set of videos discuss the dynamic audio system from the canceled Monolith Batman game, showcasing the music reacts transitions as the player moves and in and out of stealth, enters combat, and plays quests. All right, well, let's see that.
This video demonstrates how music might adapt to the player moving in and out of stealth. In this example, two compatible arrangements crossfade between each other.
Why does this game look like a PlayStation 2 game? I understand it's an early access, like early development cycle, but why does it look so like dated? Maybe it's the video quality? That man just did a grapple hook like it was Marvel's Avengers. You know, if you told me if you told me this game wasn't canceled and it was out, I would believe you, even with all the glitchiness and buggies and the way it looks. I'd be like, yeah, it just looks like a AAA game in 2025. Okay. So is there more stuff? You also get an example of clothes physics, showcasing how Batman's cape moves around while walking, but is also getting a character art of Gordon and members of the Gotham Police. Okay, let's look at this now. All right, well, this looks better. I mean, it looks better. I wish I could make the quality better. Does Blue Sky not have a higher quality? Here's a series of videos showing various mechanics. Let's look at this. You know, I would be okay if this was like what looked like DC Universe Online. Look at that spread. My God. All right. What else we got? Oh, we got the Batmobile. I mean, I have to say, I understand why it got canceled. Okay, we're also showing off another mechanic from the canceled Monolith Batman game, including Cape Crusader throwing a Batarang to knock out enemy. We saw that. We saw that. So that's it. Yeah, great. Great. So, I mean, sometimes I'm okay with games being canceled. Let's go on, Roadkill. Let's go on, Dark Taco. Yeah, I'm okay with that. It didn't look very good. I mean, for me, Arkham Origins is the worst Batman, and they made that. So, yep. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Oh, we got this one. Paul Tassi. We haven't read an article from him in months. The High Guard mystery. 2 weeks to launch and completely silent. Yeah, they did everyone a favor and canceled that one, Dark. Okay. If you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Right, so the High Guard mystery, the 2-week launch and complete silence. Okay. I know this is early, but one of the biggest mysteries of the year is extended back in December 2025 is High Guard, the hero shooter that closed out the Game Awards as the highest profile revealed spot of the year. Last week, I wrote an article about how in just 3 weeks, we go into January 26th launch, and we have nothing posted, extremely low subscriber social account. Well, check it back in with 2 weeks to go, and we have the exact same situation. They have been no posts, 0 posts of High Guard with 6,200 followers on Twitter account since the night of the Game Awards on December 11th. A full month ago, nothing of its 1,400 subscriber YouTube page outside of the initial highly criticized trailer. Its entire website is a countdown, a wish list button, and 2 separate buttons to watch this one trailer and links to social channels. Almost all uploads of High Guard trailers have around a 1 minute and 10-second like/dislike ratio. It wasn't in the top 10 most viewed trailers of the Game Awards despite airing the biggest spot. Okay, but I'm sure it'll be fine, guys. I'm sure it will be fine. Since last week, I've heard comments from industry figures and the insiders that I also respect, but they also make no sense to me. The long lines of, well, it's from a shadow dropping Apex Legends team, so maybe be patient and wait for the plan. Okay? I'm sorry, but no. This makes no sense. I agree with Paul. I agree. This makes absolutely no sense. Right? Hightail, which is a small independent studio that had to buy their shit back from Riot, has way more advertisement. Their social media is constantly posting stuff, right? 1 million people bought the game. Yet, this is a free-to-play game and nobody gives a shit about, and they're not even talking about it. It says, you cannot be classified as a shadow drop when you debuted your game at the biggest game showcase of the year. That's also true. It's not a fucking shadow drop, considering you paid an extremely big budget of money, okay, to be the last trailer on the Video Game Award. Okay? So you also be literally release date, the time of the shadow dropping, has come and gone. If you move the date up and just say wrong date, I guess you could also drop an open beta. But that's something you might also imagine should happen anyway for the game like this, probably earlier than right now. Okay? He says, supposedly the idea is that they also do a big marketing push when the launch is imminent. I mean, that could also be right after I write this, but going silent for a full month, even over the holiday, when your game is now launched in 2 weeks, is bizarre. I wonder last time I wrote about the whether or not the indicator of the game would also be delayed, but it also seemed too late for that now, given how close we are. Oh no, Paul. I'm giving up 3 days before. 3 days before we get a letter on Twitter that says, we heard your feedback, and they push it back to an undisclosed time. Right? I hope I'm wrong, but man, I hope I'm right. I'll be honest. Okay? He says, it's just weird. This whole thing is weird. Buying the top slot of a Game Awards when you have to know a new free-to-play shooter or hero shooter is going to be criticized no matter how it looks. Combined with the radio silence for a month after that, even the marketing started in an hour. Okay? Even if marketing started in an hour, it still seems like late to get going. Where there's also character showcases, where also explanations of the maps, the game modes. If people thought the game didn't look good during the showcase, demonstrate it ins and outs, try to engage people who have also written off, but none of this is happening, and probably too late now. I said the exact same thing. I said a couple days ago. I was like, where's the videos of like, this is high guard? You know what I mean? Like, show us what the fucking game is. They don't, I don't know. Is it a game? I have no idea. Right? It's just so fucking weird that you have a game and yet you're doing zero advertisement for this thing, and you're 2 weeks away. 2 weeks away. It makes no sense. Why would you blow? How much money did they blow? Did they blow? Oh my God. Know what I just thought of? Did they blow the money on Jeff Keighley's award show? And they have no money now for marketing? Yeah, but that wouldn't even make sense. Because your community manager could take screenshots of the game and just post it on your account. You could make your own YouTube. Like, we don't live in this world where you have to use traditional media to get your word out. Like, what are we talking about here? Waterbear says it's because they don't believe in their product. For the last spot in the show, it had to be a lot of money. Shadow drop and you pay for the largest spot, but that's not a shadow drop. Shadow drop is a shadow drop. Meaning we don't know anything about it. We know about this now. That's not a shadow drop anymore. Shadow drop would have been on January 26th. All of a sudden, they drop. Like, this makes no sense to me because Apex Legends, if these are the people that made Apex Legends, why didn't they market it like Apex Legends? Why would you spend so much money on the last spot of the Game Awards just to go silent for a month? Dark Taco says they should have shadow drop it at the Game Awards. I don't think they could do that, Dark Taco. You know why? Because the game was not done. You would think that they needed one more month, they would have just stayed quiet and just drop it like they were going to drop it. But they paid a shit ton of money to tell you that it's dropping in January, which technically is 2 months because it was early December to late January. So it was like 7 weeks, almost two months. And they're not even talking about it. Yeah, the silence is deafening. It's so strange. They know it's shit. I guess I will laugh my ass off, chat. I will laugh my ass off if 3 days before the thing they have the apology letter. I will laugh my ass off. Gravity says they're waiting to see when their true completion of marathon launches because the game's 2 months away and they still don't have a date or a price. Marathon's $40. Didn't they already announced that? Didn't they? I don't know about the date, but didn't they announce it was $40? A competition. Part Bear says, to be honest, anything shown after Divinity was going to seem to look like shit. Rorik says, it sounds like they may be getting delayed to make changes since it got so criticized. I'm just going to say I'm going to laugh my ass off if that apology letter comes up. Mike, it's going to be day of laughter. Sorry, guys. Well, I'm telling you, man. Make sure you guys find that clip, or someone go back and clip it, because I said last week. Was it last week? Thursday? Where I said they're going to have the apology letter 3 days before launch. Hell, even if it's 4 days. I don't care, but I said 3 days. Like, they're waiting. They're like, all right, guys, we got to crunch. We got to do a bunch of crunching. They're like, we don't want to crunch. Shut up. Get back to work. Otherwise, these people on the internet are going to be correct. Put out the letter. I don't want to. Put out the letter. I don't want to. They were going to know that we actually suck then. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Do it. Do it. Do it. Go ahead. Put your game out. So bad. Let's go to Twitter, see what's going on Twitter today. Like, look, a new post from Hightail. Hightail now in early access. Right? Look at this. Right? Real quick. Hightail 1 hour ago. Okay? January 12th, January 12th, January 11th, January 11th, January 11th, January 10th, right? Like every day, Hightail on their feed said something or did something for weeks. They didn't have one advertisement on the Game Awards. Not one. Okay? But yet, Highguard, I can tell you right now, upper management of the studio that's working at Highguard are terrible at their job. What's most worse, Highguard or the day after? The day after had more advertisement than Highguard. The day after, the day before, it was called the day before, Jesse. The day before, right? The day before, right? Day after was the day before. The day before was the highest wish list game on Steam. Highguard paid a shit ton of money and has nobody watching the video. Nobody cares about the game, and they're not even talking about it. So even though the game the day before, okay, didn't even come out, okay, it was like 2 days, if that, and is gone now, they still had a better before the game launched than they did, than Highguard. Mr. G says, you can tell 30 is a dad. Do it. Do it. I dare you. That just means I'm a younger brother. I think they announced it Sunday, the 24th. Because of the name Hightail, they will hold off the game and state that they have illegally changed the name. Must be an ex-Bungie dev running upper management. Maybe. Wasn't it the day before? Was it the day after? No, it was the day before, wasn't it? Yeah, it was called the day before. The day before. But then Clutching In came at Once Human. Yeah, that game came in. That game came out, closed, and Once Human swooped in and like took all the pressure off of it. No one even talked about it. They just moved right into Once Human. Justin Up says, why do people want Highguard to fail? Same reason as Bungie, but swap D3 with Titanfall 3? I mean, no. I think why they want Highguard to fail is because nobody gives a shit about the hero shooters anymore. People want things new. They don't want slop. They don't want people that look like they did in that game. That's what it is. Here, I'll tell you what. The game doesn't have to fail. The game doesn't have to fail, right? When you say, why do people want Highguard to fail? I could ask you, why do people want shitty games to succeed? I know why I want games to fail. I want shitty games to fail so they stop making shitty games and wasting people's time and money. Right? I want shitty games to go bye-bye. Crowded says Highguard has less followers than Concord had before launch. Oof. Wow. Let's go on, Astros. Crevice says after the day before today. Derby called it and make it fun. When we called it the day after. Gotcha. And you know, Once Human did and didn't even mark it. It just showed up. That's what I'm saying. Don't know if it's shitty yet. Maybe it is. Yeah, but am I not allowed? Are we not allowed to speculate if a game is shitty or not? Am I not allowed as a fan, when a movie trailer comes out, look at it and go, that looks like shit? Am I not allowed to do that? I have every right to say it looks like shit or it looks good. Nobody has to agree with me, but I have the right to say if a game looks like shit, if a book looks like shit, if a movie looks like shit. Right? Highguard looks like shit. It could be the best game in the world. The viewership of the interest of Highguard, the YouTube channel, the Twitter follower. Hold up. What is, let me see, Highguard. What's the Highguard Twitter's page? We have Highguard Japan. Is that the official? The brand new PvP raid shooter FPS from the developer team behind Apex Legends. Okay, so this is the official, right? Is this the official? Or is this the official Japan one? The last time they posted was December 12th of the actual game. They have 109 followers. It's Play High Guard? Okay. $6,404. That is awful. The last time they posted was December 11th. That's the first time they posted and the last time they posted. Who are they following? They're following PlayStation, they follow Xbox, they follow the Game Awards, they follow Steam, and Wildlight Entertainment. What's going on, Kinger? Kinger says every single sign points to nothing less than a completely tone-deaf group of devs who want players at large, are interested in, or are tired of. This deserves every ounce of pre-launch criticism. 100%. No, I know what you're saying, Robert, right? You're just asking, but it's like there's this like thing that's going around that, and I have a video of this. Like, asking questions and criticizing is bad, right? People are supposed to just blindly just go, "High Guard looks awesome. I'm going to buy it," right? If people want to buy this game and play the game, by all means, go ahead. By all means, go ahead. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you like it or I hate it or I love it and you hate it, okay? It's about, did it make its money? They spent hundreds of millions of dollars to make this game. Is it going to be good? Is it going to last? Say what you want about Battlefield 6. Battlefield 6, I think, is bad because it's not Battlefield. But Battlefield 6 sold 10 million plus copies, which means they're successful. So if they stop supporting Battlefield 6 today, they still made enough money in Battlefield 6 to make the next Battlefield 7, right? Just remember, though, 5 studios took 4 years to make a game just this much better than Battlefield 2042 at launch. Clip says, seriously, though, they should have just shadow dropped this game. Did not do any kind of marketing for let it speak for itself. Why didn't they do what they did for Apex Legends? They just paid a shit ton of content creators to play the game at launch, and that was it. It's been around 4 or 5 years. Altered says, I still remember your reaction at the Game Awards. Sarge says, I would like to pay cash for the biggest, smelliest turd you have, please. Do you see that? I think I was going to common sense. I need to be told to buy shit on command in order for me to feel better. Wildlight Entertainment is about to be No Lights Entertainment. They must be having a Chernobyl level meltdown over there. Maybe. Eclipse, that made me chuckle. I didn't get a chuckle. I was about to comment on Krebsy's thing and say I'll give him like a point or so for the joke. 10 million copies plus 5 studios plus 4 years not making money back. No, I think they made their money back, Sarge. I think they needed to make about 7 million copies sold to make their money back. Jesse Max says 30. You know how long GTA 6 has been in development for since 2018? That's rough, right? Because you could do a start talking about like pre-production, as I would call it, before the game starts. So technically, yes, that would be considered that it was in production in 2018. But when they get to the actual point of when they're actually going to start making the actual game, I don't think they started until 2022 or 2021, if I'm not mistaken. Because there was talks that, oh yeah, it's going to launch in 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. Like, Kingard says we called it Concord 2 in real time during the Game Awards stream. I have to imagine a lot of people felt the same way. 100%. 100%. It was in full development in 2020. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, because you could say it was in production since 2018, but that's like one guy sketching out artwork and the concept stuff and things like that. Duke Nukem was in Forever was also in development for 15 years. Yeah, Beyond Good and Evil 2 is 17 years. 17 years. Hell, No Man's Sky, even though it's been out for 8 years, was in development for 6 years before that. That's 14 years. Carter House says, do you think developers know what this game is? Yeah, I think they know what the game is. They're not doing a very good job of telling us what the game is. Let's go to do they have a website? Okay. This is their website. Okay. About. High Guard, join us. Okay, about. Okay. Meet the team. Okay. We got the co-founder, Apex Legends, Guitar Hero, Call of Duty, Titanfall. Okay. Microtransaction. Okay. We have Chad. Apex Legends, Titanfall 1 and 2, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare OG, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare OG, Call of Duty 1 and 2. Okay. Jason, Apex Legends, Titanfall, Call of Duty. Alicia, Apex Legends, Star Wars, Jedi Fallen Order, Titanfall, Medal of Honor. Right? So they know, all these people have been in the industry for years. Skylanders, Call of Duty, Overwatch, Apex Legends, Blizzard Entertainment, Destiny 2, Apex, Overwatch, Odyssey, PlayStation 5, UI Artists, Apex Legends, Titanfall, all 3 Call of Duties, Apex Legends, Apex, Mortal Kombat, Injustice, Mortal Kombat. Right? They have a lot of devs here. Right? Great. They have their devs. Who are we? We are a new, fully funded entertainment studio, hyper-focused on creating big, bold, original gaming universes on epic quality and scale. Okay, our team, our process, join us. What's the game? Watch the trailer. Wishlist today. Follow, subscribe. I know more about the people making the fucking game than the game itself. What are we doing? We know nothing about this game. Okay, great. Follow and subscribe. Okay, let's go to their Twitter account. What do I know? Oh, great. Nothing. An all-new PvP raid shooter. Fantastic. How are you not talking about your game? But yet, about us, who are we? We're a brand new, fully funded entertainment studio, hyper-focused on creating big, bold, original gaming universe of epic Quality and scale. What is your game? What are you selling us? They have a good pedigree in terms of games, but Highguard looks like shit compared to all these other games. It's Paladin ripoff all the way down to the entering the new arena, the horseback, but they just won't call it a hero shooter because they're afraid of the stigma associated with the term. Well, if only they had a way to tell us what the game was. If they only had a way to tell us what the game was, that it wasn't a hero shooter, if it wasn't a Paladin's ripoff. There's nothing. I just don't understand. I was just going to say that, Z. I was just going to say that. It looks like it's just advertising for they're trying to build up something to build up their portfolio, right? You got all the big guys that work for these studios. This is the game they put together. Imagine if we had more time to do it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Z says it says remote first studio in the bio. They're all advertising for employees 110%. Sarge says, good news, everyone. There's a strong chance that the WNBA is officially over. That's so random, but thanks, Sarge. Chopper Eric says, sounds like an investment firm turnover team of the studio with their first game. Krebsy says, what if Highguard shows up on Xbox Devs Direct? Could. I was thinking on Xbox the hidden game is Light No Fire. I was thinking that Hello Games made a deal just to, put Light No Fire on the thing. But I don't know. That was just maybe it is the Direct. Like, what the fuck are they doing? I don't get it. I have no idea what this game is doing. It makes no sense to me. Absolutely no sense. All right, let me see what else has happened on Twitter here. Did you see the copyright on the website? The copyright on their website? Down. Copyright Wild Entertainment 2025, all rights reserved. You talking about that? I mean, the company's copyrighted. That makes sense. It's just weird that they just have more information about the people making the goddamn game than the game itself. A lot of fucking people. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48, 52, 56, 60, 61 employees. 61 employees, where are they located out of? Where's Wildlight located? Oh, you're saying that the game, you're saying that the copyright 2025, they haven't updated it. Is that what you're saying? They're in California? So 61 employees. How many years did Jeff Keighley say? 4 years? Average salary? What's the average game dev salary over there? I'm looking it up. Let me see. 100,000 to 130,000. Okay, so it says widely, but average around 100,000 to 130,000 annually with the entry level positions starting around 60,000. Well, everyone there has worked on like 4 or 5 plus AAA games. So let's just say 100,000 a piece. $100,000 a piece, right? So that's 6.1 million times 4. So they're right now at like $24.4 million of salary. Roughly. For the 4 years they've been working on that game. Kingard says, almost seems like they're also trying to pitch themselves to potential investors as a people with good pedigrees about launch of their own Marvel rivals. Get it now while the stocks are low. Perhaps. No, that's everybody. That says everybody what their positions are and everything. No, that's everybody. It tells you what they are. It says meet the team. It tells you co-founder, CEO. It tells you the designer, creative director, head of studio culture, lead social community manager, UI artist, lead designer, protective manager, producer, environmental artist, environmental programmer, engineer programmer, visual effects artist. Concept source, game designer, concept artist, head surface artist, software engineer. Like there's their whole list. We know more about, and you could click, I think you could click on these people. Yeah, you could click on each of these people and it shows their artwork and it shows their contact information. LinkedIn has a post from 7 months ago at Wildlife Entertainment. We're looking Wildlight Entertainment that we're looking for IT lead and experience supporting video game development. Yeah, this is weird. This is weird. Maybe they're doing some sort of a test. Maybe this is all one big fucking test. Where's the Concord devs? Found one right here. Boom. Jessica Grant, outsourced producer. She worked on Concord and Smite. All of these people, holy Christ, there is a lot of people that worked on Apex Legends, meaning they worked at Respawn or they worked at EA, and they all left. Which, there's another Concord person, gameplay engineer. If I was an artist or like him, he's probably new in the industry. He looks pretty young. He's got Rocket Arena and Concord. Oof. Oof. Get one more credit underneath your belt and then take away Concord. I would not put that on my resume. I would not put that on my resume. Wouldn't put that on my resume. Telling you they're going to delay it so it comes out with the consoles. They can also push the narrative that the game is doing good because they can't see the console numbers. Mr. Z says we're looking for another senior online engineer who also been experienced with Unreal Engine. Have you shipped at least one game on console as an online engineer? If both, we want to talk to you. Sarge says let's talk the truth. Let AAA companies fall. Let the bloated studios fall. We need new blood and talent making games and fucking algorithms. Well, this is a new company, Sarge. This is a new company. Pat says, I think the word Concord is having a meaning now in game industry. Yeah, I wouldn't put it on my resume. I'm being dead serious. So that means a lot of these people left. As soon as Apex Legends was done, they left. There's a lot of Apex Legends guys on here. Real quick, Apex Legends. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. 37 of the 61 people worked on Apex Legends. And I also kind of want to point out that, like, this environmental artist, and I'm not picking her out specifically, I'm just saying, like, she worked on Fallout New Vegas, Ninja Gaiden 7, Remains to Eden Finch, Titanfall 2, Apex Legends. I'm sure these are not all her credits, right? She's an environmental artist. So she probably works for a company, does the environmental artist stuff, and says, I'm done, and then she leaves and does to another company. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of these people do the same thing. At 37, how many people worked on Apex Legends? Over 400. Respawn Entertainment was over 400 developers working on Apex Legends. 37 of them are in that studio. Going around 300 in 2019 and supported a massive live experience heading a... Yeah, once they launched it, they're like gone. They started in what, 2021, you said, Krebsy? Respawn didn't have layoffs until like 2024. Right, well, laying off and letting people go are two different things, right? Like leaving. You don't report when people leave your company. So 37 people left in the last, whatever. You only report when people get fired from your company. Mr. Z says, wow, even though recruiting the director used to work at Riot. Well, I guess we shall see what happens in just a few days. Well, a week or so, right? Or 13 days, 2 weeks. We'll see. 10 days from now, it gets canceled. Or they delay it or something. Something's going to happen. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe someone can clip this and go, see, this guy was completely wrong. It came out, and it's super successful. It's got 1 million concurrent players. It's the greatest thing since Apex Legends. But if it doesn't, this could go down in how to not announce a new game. How to not announce a new game. Spend a shit ton of money on Jeff Keighley's last spot. Okay? And then it completely bombs. Which will hurt Jeff Keighley's price for that last spot, I'll be honest with you. That would be next year, they're gonna have to give a discount for the last spot because they'll be like, oof. What happened? All right. On that note, I am done for the day. I'll be back tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be playing some Hightail this evening. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. I appreciate it very much. We'll be over on 30 and Still Gaming tonight. Other than that, you guys have a great rest of your day, evening, or night, wherever you are. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
But every time I pull the trigger, it's like ghosts in the smoke. No suppression, no pressure, this ain't the old code. Grinding all night for that scope I need. But every upgrade feels like I'm planting seeds in concrete. Yeah, battlefield's back, but fix it, please. Hey, hey. Battlefield's right, hey, hey. But fix it, please. Hit detections while bring it to its knees. Maps look good, but don't play it right. Every flank turns into a fire with light. Still we're storming through the fire and steel. Cause damn, it finally feels real. Battlefield's back, but fix it, please. Smooth launch, yeah, I can't believe my eyes. Call of Duty players jumping in, switching sides. Jet flybys, tanks on parade. But these spawn points got me feeling betrayed. I want that chaos, that old school thrill. Not running 10 miles just to die on a hill. So patch it up, guys, we know you can. Don't lose your soul to the same old plan. Yeah, battlefield's back, but fix it, please. Battlefield's back, but fix it, please. Hit detections while bring it to his knees. Maps look good, but don't play right. Every flank turns into a fire with light. Still we're storming through the fire and steel. Cause damn, it finally feels real. Battlefield's back, but fix it, please. Battlefield's back, but fix it, please. Now they're talking about a BR mode. Dropping in hot, another heavy load. We've seen it done, we've seen it fail. Don't chase the trend, stay on the rail. Keep it battlefield, large scale fights. Don't trade the war for battle lights. We want squads, not loot box dreams. Stay true to the chaos, not stream of memes. From 2D 42 scars we rise. Learn the pain, now we're wise. Portal's back, but man it's a chore. Gotta dig through the trash to find the goal we adore. So here's to the soldiers, the fans who stay.